is Jeannie Philippus with the Shard Studio, and we are creating acrylic pour kits for you to take home and do art with your children during these times when the children are home from school. So we decided today to take this class with these two lovely ladies, McKay and Adriana, and do a demonstration of exactly how to do an acrylic pour. So thank you all for being a part of our video today, and we're going to start right now. So the first thing we already did, right ladies, is we put tacks at the bottom because with acrylic pour we want it to pour over, and we also want it to be level. So when you do this at home, make sure your tacks are even and your canvas is level. Here we're using trays at the studio, but we will send you some painter's plastic so you can do it at home on a table. So, okay, so the second thing we do is we pick our colors. Now, in your packet, you'll have 4 cups, and you'll have 4 different paints. And we'll have the exact measurements for how much paint to use. And we already did 3 of them, and so why don't y'all take your last color and go ahead and put it in the cup, and everybody has one of these sticks, and they're ready to stir it. Good job.
And show me how much you have.
Very good. Yes.
Perfect.
And show Ann how much you have. Good job.
Perfect.
So we are also putting a bottle of Floetrol inside each kit for you to use. And Floetrol does 2 things. It binds the colors. So say like red, or maybe let's see, yellow and blue don't make green.
Or
so
purple. We
we want to keep each color in its own form, and we want to bind the pigment. So we use about 3 parts Floetrol, and it's a mixing medium. And it not only binds the colors, but it also gives it a little fluidity, and that's what we are working towards. So it's our first step to that. So I'm going to put some in your cup, and what you start to do is, it's about 3 parts of Floetrol to 1 part of paint. Start stirring that. You'll see that the colors remains the same, and that is because it is binding the colors. And I'll do each one of these, and I will also do yours, Adriana. And those of you that are doing this acrylic pour at home with your children, or you can just do it for yourself, you'll see, once again, the Floetrol helps bind the colors. It'll stay the same true color, and it will also make it thin enough to start to make it fluid. All right, so we'll stir those. And this is part of your kit right here. You'll get one of these. You'll also get some distilled water, and we put a little bottle of distilled water in there. You'll get your cups for at home, and you'll get the sticks, and you'll get your gloves, and you'll get paints, and you'll get the cup that you guys here, you're gonna use one of these. And at home, you'll have one of these cups also to do what we're going to do. Okay, so once you get it stirred, you'll see that it stayed the same color as it is in here. And that means it didn't actually thin it, it just made it more fluid. You see how beautiful that is? It's the exact same color. It binds the colors. It's a wonderful thing. All right, I'm going to help y'all stir this. We want to stir it really well because we don't want any lumps in each one of our paints, because a lump will cause, if you have a lump on your canvas and you're doing acrylic pour and we're manipulating it, that lump will start to push other paints around, and that's not what we want. We want our masterpiece to be created using silicone, which is an oil, and it's an oil and water combination, creates these cells. And we're going to use silicone in just a few minutes, and everybody gets one of these little packets, and we'll show y'all how to do that. So, okay, so when you stir it, you'll see, and you can see this on the camera, you'll see, yes, it runs off, but unless you feel it, you won't understand really how it's supposed to feel. This is more like heavy cream, and as Ann always says, it should be more like chocolate milk. And that's a really good analogy. Ann's doing the videotaping right now, so. So right now, do you think that's like whipping cream or chocolate milk stirred?
Chocolate milk.
And it's a little bit more like whipping cream, don't you think? Like, we want it kind of like 2% chocolate milk, kind of thin. So, all right, so in order to get that, we have to add distilled water. Not regular water, but distilled water. So I'm going to add a little bit of distilled water in everybody's just to make it a little bit thinner. And we put distilled water in your packet too, because we don't know that everybody has distilled water at home and we don't want you using hard water. So I'm gonna add just a little bit in each one, and then you stir it, and then that will make it just like 1% milk or 2% milk, chocolate milk. We have to be specific, right?
Yes.
These are beautiful colors y'all picked. And we will have different colors in everybody's acrylic pour kit that we are giving out. So once you stir that, oh, it's so much better, right? It's such a less resistance, and that's what we want. Now, after we stir it all, one thing we have to remember that's really important, and those of you that are buying my kit today are going to know this little secret. If you want large cells, and that's kind of the secret to a good acrylic pour is large cells, unless you want little ones. But if you want large ones to create a beautiful masterpiece, the most important thing is once we add the silicone, it's the oil that makes the cells, you don't want to stir it anymore because you don't want to break it up. So that's a really important piece of information for you at home. So let's take everybody's little stick and kind of put it maybe in here, because we don't want to be, well, no, let's not do that yet. We want the silicone to go to the bottom. So I'm going to give you a little bit of silicone. You only put just a few drops in your cup because you don't want too much oil, and then all you have is oil on your canvas. So I'm going to put a few drops in, and that's all you need. But what I want y'all to do is put an X over that where I put that. So just put an X in the middle, just like that. I did your first one. And then do that for each one. That's going to help the silicone, the oil, to kind of go down the bottom without breaking it up. Adriana, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some, and it's just a little bit. Just a little bit of it's just a half of one of these little, and what do you call this little thing? Dropper. All right, put an X over that. Once you've done that, then we're going to take these, because we don't want to be tempted to stir it anymore. So we'll take these, and you want to put yours in there too, Adriana. As soon as you put your X in there, now we are ready to do what is called a dirty pour. And what a dirty pour is, it's layering each color of paint inside one cup. We want to go to 10 ounces, and this is a 10-ounce cup. So, and it's called a dirty pour because you're mixing everything together. But we're not really mixing it, we want to lay it on top of it. So that's really important. So take your, and it does not matter, and we'll wait for Adriana. And then, McKay, you'll go first. And take your first color and go to, you want to fill it all the way up, so we're going to repeat them. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I would do just a little bit over about 1.5 ounces, just kind of eyeball it for your first one. I'm going to show you how to do the first one. You don't want to just dump it in there because you don't want to make your acrylic pour inside your cup. You want it to be on your canvas. So we don't want the silicone and all the cells to be forming in the cup. We want them to be forming here. So what we do is, this is what we do, ladies. We pour it down the side so it kind of takes the bounce off the liquid going in, and then we pour it in like that. So pour about this much, and we're not going to use all that today. And then the next layer, go right along the side and let it hit the side of the cup first and lay right on top. And pour about that much, and then repeat each. And you'll have some left over, and we'll tell you why. So your first one, go to about that high, and pour it along the side, and then there you go. Perfect. And that's good. That's good, love. And then, and if you don't repeat them all, it's okay too. Good job, girls. Thank y'all for being part of my demonstration. I love that gold.
Perfect.
That's good. And you're doing excellent. Look how pretty that is. Can I show Ann real quick? Look how pretty that is, how she's laying it on top. And instead of just dumping in it and creating all the cells inside the cup. Good job. And then you'll repeat until you get to about 10 ounces. And then we'll always want a little bit extra in your cup. So when we're stretching it, if we need to cover the edges, then we have enough in the cup to cover the edges. You get paint on your canvas right now, no big deal. We're gonna cover it all up. Oh, those colors are so pretty. Looks like summer.
It does, or Easter.
Easter. Excellent. Yes, it does look like Easter. And do we usually say 9 or 10?
10.
10. There you go. I think you made it to the top. Good job. All right. Okay, you girls are going to show everyone at home exactly how to do this at home. So I'm going to take a canvas to illustrate to you the first time. And now we have our dirty pour inside our cup. Look how pretty, Shell. Look at Shell, it's so pretty. Show yours too, Adriana. I love how you lined them up so well.
That looks great.
It does.
Don't shake it though.
Right, and then just keep layering it till we get to 10 ounces. The 10 ounces covers this 11 by 14 canvas perfectly. And we want to make sure we have enough to flow over the edge. You're going to love it when it flows over the edge. So I'm going to begin for our viewers to show as Adriana still fills up. I'll show how we do this, and then McKay, you can start and she'll be. So the first thing we're going to do, we have our dirty cup pour inside of our cup, and it's different layers of acrylic paint. And then now we want to create a flip cup pour. And when we create the flip cup pour, we'll see the silicone do all its fun stuff to make the cells. First of all, are y'all having a great time? This is very fun, isn't it? It's just fun mixing colors and just kind of seeing what paint does. It's just a new kind of thing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is, and I'll demonstrate first, is you're going to take your dirty cup pour and you're going to place your canvas upside down on top. And then you're going to do a flip cup pour. So you're going to flip it. Now remember, we have the little tacks here. It creates a suction. So you're okay. It's not really, unless you go crazy with it, it's not going to fly off. You're going to set it down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift it. And when you lift it, we'll see as McKay and Adriana do it, you'll see how the cells begin to appear because of the silicone. Okay, you go first. Very good. There you go. Awesome. Good job. And yes, you feel that little suction on there. Now, I usually always say wait a few seconds, because you remember when we put the X on top and we got the silicone to go down, we wanted to kind of work within that paint and the water in that paint to create those cells. So I usually wait a few seconds for the silicone to go back down again. And now you're good. Now you can lift it, and let's see what happens. That is so beautiful. And I love that gold. Okay, so now let's wait till some of these cells start to come about. See how they're coming? Look, they're popping out as we speak. Now we usually wait a little bit so all the cells can, all the silicone, and look at that. That's like a, I don't know what you call that, like a leopard or something. And then wait till they kind of get big. So let's let Adriana do hers, and then let's look how big your cells became as we did it. So good job. Awesome. Very good. That wasn't so bad, was it? We definitely got to make it even, and then we'll wait again for a few seconds. It looks like it's going to be kind of like scary to flip it, but it's not, is it? Once you get used to it. All right, now you can lift it, love. Good job. And then we'll start to see, I love it when it goes over the edge, but we'll start, see now, see all the little cells start, you let it sit, you'll see more of that bright orange kind of pop out. And see, look how yours has changed since we first started. Now we're going to stretch it. And Ann and I always have this thing, for those of you who've been following us on Facebook and Instagram and have been here before, Ann and I always kind of do things, we always have our little own little way of doing it. So I always say I stretch mine slow, and Ann always says she stretches hers fast. So it doesn't really matter as long as you don't break the cells. So since you have your gloves on, you're going to kind of take it like that, and you're going to stretch it around the canvas. Keep an eye on your cells. See all that beautiful art inside there? You just don't want it to break. So it's like a little oil cell, they call them cells, and like a bubble, and you don't want it to break. So you can go faster than that. And then when it goes over the edge, it's so beautiful. Good job. And see how pretty that all is? And that gold is gorgeous. Good job, McKay. I love it. Good job. And look how big they're starting to get. It is like Easter colors. I love it. Now you can start yours. And see how that bright orange has popped out? There wasn't hardly any when we first did it. And there you go. That is a dirty pour and a flip cup pour using all your colors. And like I said earlier, we want to keep a little bit left over in your cup. So if there's any corner that you need to pour a little bit more in, you can pour anything left over in your cup on the edges. Now you can play with it as much as you want. Watch so some of your favorite things don't go over the edge. You can take some of this and you can pick it up and you can use your stick and you can do that. You can do all kind of fun stuff. Sometimes people like to even, after it dries, even use a Sharpie and kind of write their name on the edge or make lines. But that is an acrylic pour. Have fun with it, mix your colors, and enjoy a little bit of art.